Longtime Panther Graham Gano has us set for a start as we are underway from MetLife Stadium.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Off the play fake to Ekeler, it's Herbert.
Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Sean Murphy-Bunting. And the Giants are going to take over here up near the 40. And looky there, Charles, just acquired, already making an impact on the defensive side of the football.
Maybe not a superstar, but he does a few things well, and I think they'll emphasize that in his new role with this team.
Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley.
And slow going there as he'll only get a yard, maybe, up to the 41.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Throwing, Jones.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Chargers are going to take possession of the football. So consecutive interceptions here early on in this one, and maybe setting the tone, Charles, for a game where the defense really takes center stage.
And don't you think that both offenses are really catching a bit from their coaching staff about avoiding these turnovers that we've seen early? I think both teams are trying to find an advantage. We know that. Can one of them break away and take control of this game?
After the turnover, here's Herbert. Flushed out right.
And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
That's tremendous field position that they were given following the turnover, but they've still got work to do to get the field goal range, and the coverage we're seeing isn't going to make it easy.
Here's the first carry for Austin Ekeler. Oh, he's got a little daylight.
And he'll follow his blockers there all the way down to the 23-yard line.
17 yards for the Chargers there as they've got themselves a first down.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Here's Johnson with a reception. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A well-executed 22-yard gain. And you get the sense, as I'm sure they got the sense, they might have picked up a good one here, maybe a little diamond in the rough via trade.
Maybe just need a change in scenery, a new city, maybe different motivation, but they believe they've got a good one.
A chance for their first points of the season here as it's 1st and goal. Herbert going to keep it on his sneak.
And he will get in across the chalk for a Chargers touchdown.
The sneak successful from a yard out. And the Chargers take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown.
And his kick is good, but flags come in. Looks like we're going to get a roughing call here on the follow-through. So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. All that for a 2-yard gain, second down. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
Throwing again on second down. Jones, open target here, Darius Slayton. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now Jones. And that one's going to be off target and incomplete.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one. Force the incompletion. That'll allow him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Jones with a handoff to Barkley.
And here's another tackle made at the line. So they're converging well on the football now. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
Maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like even if he had opted to keep that, I don't think there was going to be much to gain.
Seemed like it was perfectly defense. And know what they say? Those guys on the other side, they get paid too.
An extra cornerback now in the game for the Chargers here on 3rd. Operating from the gun, Jones. And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. The former number 3 pick, Joey Bosa, bringing the lumber that time. So on 4th down, here's the Australia native Mitch Wishnowsky to punt this one away. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Fielded at the 20. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Eckler going to get it again on 2nd down. And a good push there defensively as they stop him at the 48. Gain of just 1.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. Going to throw on 3rd down with Herbert. And that will be incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And you can't do it much better than that. This ball kicks out of bounds at the 4-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. And a nice pickup as this one gets them to the 10-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
I think they're ahead of schedule now after that run. They might be bold with this 2nd down call after that type of a gain.
2nd down, here's Barkley again.
And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more.
After 7-0 on EA Sports. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down.
Looking to throw. Jones. And able to find Gesicki as tight end. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. The previous play, they barely got back to the line of scrimmage. Now they pick up over 30 yards.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far. And never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
Room here to run. They've moved the ball over 50 yards between this play and the last one.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
Now a play fake here on first down.
And that is caught downfield by Beckham.
And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. A very solid gain of 27.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
They're looking at a 2nd and 8 now from the 10.
Back to throw. Jones buying time to his left. The ball comes out and picked up by the Chargers. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Hey, we can preach ball security all we want here, but how about that effort on defense? Excellent job inside the red zone. Just took away at least 3 points by forcing that fumble.
The Charger drive about to get going. They take over in a precarious spot here, albeit after forcing the fumble at the goal line. This is safety territory as they start from their own 1.
A nice-looking play to start the drive down the middle and complete.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
We know he's good at catching the football, but then after the catch, he's got escapability.
Not only that, he's got some toughness as well because you know he's coached very hard to make sure he battles through, breaks tackles, and then they finish with, but don't fumble the football.
So forget about being backed up. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way across midfield. Here's Herbert. And this is caught. First catch for Keenan Allen.
And he's going to get this down near the 25.
Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the second quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield, they're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense.
Running on first down, Eckler.
What a great effort there. He's going to get this inside the 15, and they'll spot it at the 13-yard line. Nice run.
Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down. Herbert operating from the red zone. And it's caught. And he's brought down. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. 2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. Trying to punch it in with Eckler. Now he fights his way in for a Charger touchdown. It's a 1-yard touchdown run. Now it's Hopkins to add the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0.
Next the score, Chargers 14, Giants 0. Dustin Hopkins.
Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Off play action. Jones steps away. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, based on what we've seen so far, I don't think you can even call this an off day anymore, partner, because this group we're watching, they are totally out of rhythm, trying to get their game plan up and running. That 0 on the scoreboard is glaring down at them with every incompletion.
And that'll be a return of 12 following a very nice punt. And they will take over 1st and 10.
The Charger drive about to get going. And now consider the lead. The question is, how much is good enough? Are you going for more?
It's the NFL. There's never enough, I believe, because they get reeled in all the time when you sit on the ball. I think that they will try and move the ball downfield and try and squeeze a few more points out of this first half. They'll be careful. They'll be a little bit cautious at times, but also they will attack downfield and try and get in position for at least 3 points.
And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme, and you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive vision.
Nowhere to go for Herbert, and he's going to go down.
The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass.
That one complete, downfield to Johnson.
And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. Better than a 30-yard gain as we wind down towards 30 seconds left in the quarter.
This offense in midseason form here in the opener. It's 1st and 10. Herbert.
And he'll just get rid of it.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game. It has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another 1st down.
So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. Hopkins' kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So a capper there to a pretty good first half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And they look up at the scoreboard facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no 3-score drive on that play sheet for any of those coordinators? They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive. But maybe cut into it a little bit as you just suggested. Try and create a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a spark, and then maybe that'll carry over.
Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Derwin James with a pick.
And the Chargers will have the football as this is taken up past the 30.
Well, I think everyone who's watching was certainly hoping to see things get a little bit better for them in this half, weren't we? But it was a downright miserable first half. This carried over with an interception to begin the second half. That's a defeated offense right there, and there's still a lot of game left. I don't think that's the last turnover we're going to see today, partner.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
44 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009, 2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
On 1st and 10, Herbert. He finds his man Johnson. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
They suspected that it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Herbert. Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted.
picked by Julian Love. And the Giants are going to get the football here at their own 23. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the third quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
His impatience has to be bubbling over, trying to find a way to get his team to the end zone for the first time. He did find a way to break, contain, and get outside to buy his receivers a little extra time, but the connection couldn't be made on that throw.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Jones. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I'm getting the sense that this offense is getting frustrated. Here we are into the 3rd quarter, and they've had plenty of opportunities to get in sync. Thus far, that hasn't happened. They're looking for answers both on the sidelines and in the huddle looking at each other.
And the Giants send out their punter now as he'll come on to kick this one away. 51 yards on the punt there. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going.
As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in this second half.
Looking to throw again on second down. Herbert. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up third down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
They tried to throw on second down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Herbert now. That's caught by his tight end, Gerald Everett.
And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
Forget the run on 3rd and 1. They shock the D and rip off a pretty big play.
Normally on 3rd down and short yardage, you're thinking to throw to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the first down and then some.
On first down, it's Herbert. Working the middle here, that's complete to Everett, the tight end.
And they're going to move it down to inside the 25.
And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this third quarter. We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down. Justin Herbert looking to pass. Under pressure, they got him again.
Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders.
Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DN.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well. And that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen.
Hopkins' kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
This will be fielded inside the 5.
The lane opens here. He's past the 30.
The Giants take over 1st and 10 at their own 36-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
And whatever promise they showed in the preseason has not translated into week 1 because they have not been particularly competitive here at home, no less. These fans just kind of beside themselves right now.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38. Seems pretty obvious defensively. A key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back. Those are the ones you focus on and want to take away, and they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Here we go, here we go.
Desperation time now. Here's Jones. And they get Jones for the 3rd time in this ball game.
Derwin James with a pick.
Well, I guess an interception at this point on 4th down is just as bad as an incomplete pass. Either way, the ball goes over to the other side.
Yeah, it's a tough spot to be in this late in the game, and there's not a whole lot he could do there, and he winds up giving the ball away.
The Charger drive about to get going. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable 4th quarter lead.
Herbert on 1st down now. Finds the open man. It's Mike Williams.
And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
Well, it may seem a little unorthodox to some people. Got the lead, fourth quarter, yet he's still firing away. I think he believes that's the best way to go ahead and win the game.
Yeah, a lot of coaches say, let's just run the football, be conservative. He's sticking to his game plan.
No, that is his game, and that's what they're going to ride.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
The Chargers on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Now it's Herbert. And this is caught by Williams. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. A pickup of 24 on the third down conversion.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
They're certainly not letting up on the pressure in this one, and oftentimes you hear this expression, all gas, no break from defenses. But in this case, it's the offense still throwing the football up big in the fourth quarter.
Herbert back to the air. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
Back to throw here, Herbert. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
Hopkins' kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So the defense able to force the interception, and the offense working their way into field goal range and able to get 3 out of it.
Yeah, and give them credit for that. They took the ball, maneuvered it downfield, and while they couldn't get exactly what they wanted, which was a touchdown, they did get 3 points out of it, so they paid off what the defense gave them. Both sides will be thrilled with that.
At their own 22-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
Well, I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the fourth quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film session tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mentioned in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while. But everyone on that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Jones fakes the give to Barkley. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
On 3rd down, Barkley. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
And the Giants send out their punter now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And this will be taken at the 13. Officially, that'll be a 63-yard punt. Well done.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going. And this has been quite a performance to kick off the new year on the road, no less, as they try to finish things off here in the 4th quarter. They started on the ground with Eckler. And a short pickup to about the 25.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
He praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line.
62 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
They'll try to pick up the first with Eckler, and he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this 4th quarter. On is the Chargers punter now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. This first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. This is taken at the 15. That'll wind up being a 50-yard punt, though they do get 10 back on the return. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Picked off by Asante Samuel Jr. And the Chargers come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now officially over.
So this one's over. It's in the win column for the L.A. Chargers. And this was truly a total team effort, Charles, on both sides of the ball.
No, they absolutely pitched a shutout, so it can't get much better.